right, boys and girls, let's get started with our math lesson for today. Today we are working on Topic 2, Lesson 8. It begins on page 85 of our Envisions Topic 1 workbook. And our learning intention today is I can draw pictures and write equations to help solve word problems. So let's see what we've got in store today. Our solve and share on page 85 says 6 fish swim by. Some more fish join them. Now there are 10 fish. How many fish join the group? Draw a picture. Okay, so let's look at our problem again. So it says we have 6 fish that swim by. Some join. We don't know how many exactly, but now we have 10 fish total. So how could we draw this? What do you think? How could we draw this to represent our story? Well, let's start with drawing our 6 fish that we know we had. So I'm not super great at drawing fish, so you can draw circles. If you know how to draw a fish pretty well, you could draw a fish. I'll try. Okay, not too bad. I'm going to draw my fish like that. So I'm going to draw 6 fish. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it says 6 fish swam by. So I just drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fish. It tells me that some fish joined. Now I don't know how many, but now there are 10 fish. So I know that my end result is that I ended up with 10 fish. So let's see, if I start with 6 and I need to get to 10, well, if I'm at 6 and I know 10 is a bigger number than 6, I could just count up. So if I have 6 already, I can add some more fish over here and say, okay, if I have 6 there, this would be fish number 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fish total. So I started with 6, so I'm going to draw a line down the middle. I started with these 6 fish over here. If I put all of these fish together, I now have 10. So how many of these fish joined? How many joined? So if I started with 6, some more joined, and now my total number of fish is 10. How many fish joined me? These are the 6 fish I started with, and these are the fish that it took to get me to 10. So how many fish are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 fish plus 4 fish gave me 10 fish total. So 4 fish joined the group. And that is how we solve our solve and share together. Now let's watch our animated video that will guide us through the top of our workbook, page 86.
Slater has 7 books. He gives some books to Anna. Now Slater has 2 books. How many books did he give Anna? What do you know? You know that Slater has 7 books and he gives some to Anna. Now Slater has 2 books. What do you need to find out? You need to find out how many books Slater gave to Anna. What equation can you write to model the problem? One equation you can write is 7 minus what equals 2. Which part of the equation represents the number of books Slater gave to Anna. Select your answer. How can you solve this equation? You can take away 5 from 7 to get a difference of 2. So, Slater gives Anna 5 books. How could you use a number line to solve this problem? You can count back from 7 to 2. Do you count the numbers from 7 to 2 or count the jumps? You count each jump when you count back to find the difference. You made 5 jumps. Slater gives Anna 5 books.
You have just learned how to use pictures and write equations to help solve a word problem.
Now for a Convince Me section of workbook page 86. It says 7 cubes are on a table. Some cubes fall off. Now there are 3 cubes on the table. How many cubes fell off of the table? Well, let's see. How can we use a picture to help us solve this problem? I'm going to get my pen or my pencil out. And if it tells me I had 7 cubes, some fell off, so we don't know how many, but now I have 3 on the table. Oh my goodness, there's so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are a little bigger than I wanted them, so I'll just put them a little bit smaller. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So if I have 7 cubes, some fall off of the table, and now I only have 3 cubes that are on the table. So if I begin with 7, so I'm going to write 7. I know that my equation would say I subtracted because I went from 7 cubes to now only having 3. So I need to find out, what is this missing number? 7 minus what number got me to 3? Well, let's look. If we have these 7 cubes, some fall off, and now I only have 3. Well, let's take some of these away till I only have 3 left. So I'll take away this one. This one. No, I still have more than 3 left. I'll take off this one, and now I have 1, 2, 3 cubes left, correct? So I had to cross out 1, 2, 3, 4 of these cubes for me to only have 3 of them left. So I made 7 minus 4 equals 3 to find this out. So how many cubes fell off of the table? 4 cubes fell off of the table. Now let's look at our guided practice, still on page 86. Our guided practice tells us to draw a picture, then write an equation to solve. Our problem says that Maria sees 3 bluebirds. So she sees 3 bluebirds. 1, 2, 3. She sees some red birds. So we don't know how many exactly, just says that she sees some red birds. Maria now sees 9 birds in all. How many red birds did Maria see? How many red birds did Maria see? So I'm just going to use circles because I am not so great at drawing. But it says I have 3 bluebirds, so I'm just going to make 3 dots, 3 blue dots. That shows these 3 blue birds. It then says that some of these birds are red. I already have 3, but I need to get to 9. So we are going to make the rest of these red birds. And if you don't have a red, you can just use your pencil. That would be okay. So if we have 1, 2, 3, and we need to get to 9, we're going to keep on counting. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, if Maria said there were 3 bluebirds, and now there are 9 birds in all, and we have 9 birds here, that means that 6 of those 9 birds were red. So let's write our equation. Let's see if we can figure this out. So I know for a fact, let me change my pen size. I forgot I made it pretty big. So I'm going to write 3. I know I started with 3 bluebirds. I ended with a total of 9. So if I went from 3 to 9, did I add or subtract? I added, most definitely. So if I took 3 bluebirds and added, how many red birds did I add? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I added 6 red birds. That means that 3 plus 6 gave me my total of 9. And it wanted to know, how many red birds did Maria see? She saw 6 red birds. So I'm going to write the number 6 in the blank. On our next page, page 87, for our independent practice, it wants us to draw a picture, then write an equation and solve. So, boys and girls, just like we did for our guided practice, you are now going to do that for your independent practice. So let's look at number 2. Number 2 says Jamal picks 7 berries. Then Ed picks more berries. They pick 10 berries in all. How many berries did Ed pick? So let's underline some important information in that story problem. So if Jamal picks 7 berries, Ed picks some more berries, and now they have 10 berries all together. So before writing our equation, it wants us to draw a picture because our learning intention is how we can draw a picture to help us solve. So what you could do for this, I can give you an example. You could draw the 7 berries that Jamal picked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you know you have 10 berries in all, you could say, okay, this is 7. So let's count to 10 now. So that was 7. So this would be 8, 9, 10. So if these are the 7 berries that Jamal picked, and these 3 berries got you to 10, how many berries did Ed pick? So if these were Jamal's berries, and it says that Ed picked some more, and now all together they have 10 berries. If you added up all these black and red berries, they would have 10. So if those 7 black berries were Jamal, how many did Ed pick? Then you are going to write that equation in the blank below. And it wants you to first draw your picture to show how you would solve it, then write your equation. So if you want, you can go ahead and pause number 2 so that you can keep working on it, because Mrs. Collier is going to read you number 3. So if you're still working on number 2, just go ahead and pause the video, and when you play it, it will be ready to play number 3. Number 3 says Vicky has 8 flowers in her garden. She picks some flowers. Now there are 4 flowers left. How many flowers did Vicky pick? So boys and girls, for your picture, you are going to want to show how Vicky had 8 flowers in her garden and how many she picked to now she only has 4 flowers left in her garden. Then you are going to write the equation below that would show how many flowers Vicky picked. So again, if she started with 8 flowers and now there are only 4 flowers left, we want to know how many flowers did Vicky pick. So you are going to use the 8 and the 4 to write your equation below, but it wants you to show in a picture how Vicky had 8 flowers and now she only has 4 flowers left. So go ahead and pause the video so that you can work on number 3, because next we are going to move on to number 4. So go ahead and pause the video, and when you play it, it will be ready to talk about number 4. Number 4 says, write a math story to match the picture. So boys and girls, for number 4, if you would like to write your own math story for the picture, you absolutely can, involving 4 fish and 3 ducks. But if you would like to just use Mrs. Collier's story and then make the equation, that would be okay too. So for my story, I said 4 fish are in the pond. 3 ducks swim with the fish. How many animals are in the pond? So over here, if you choose to use Mrs. Collier's story, which would be okay, but if you want to make your own, that is perfectly fine. Now I want you to say, okay, there's 4 fish in the pond. There are 3 ducks in the pond. How many are in the pond total? You are going to write that equation in the blank over here. So again, you can write your own story equation and story to match the picture, but if you just want to write the equation and use Mrs. Collier's story, that is perfectly fine. For our last workbook page, on page 88, it wants you to solve each problem, draw pictures, and write equations to help solve. So just like what we've been doing. Let's start with number 5, and if you're still working on the previous page, go ahead and just pause the video. If you're ready to begin working on page 88 with number 5, then let's get going. So number 5, it says Charlie draws 9 stars. Joey draws 4 stars. How many fewer stars did Joey draw than Charlie? So let's see, if Charlie draws 9 stars, Joey draws 4 stars, and we want to know how many fewer stars did Joey draw than Charlie. So for you drawing your picture, you could draw Charlie's 9 stars and Joey's 4 stars, and you could compare how many fewer Joey has to Charlie and then write your problem. Or if you have another way that you would like to draw a picture for this problem, then you can go ahead and do so. Now Mrs. Collier is going to move through these reading the questions a little bit fast, so I want you to just pause the video as you need so that you can solve the problems. Number 6 says Brian finds 3 rocks on Monday. He finds 7 rocks on Friday. How many more rocks did Brian find on Friday than Monday? So on Monday he found 3 rocks. So I'll say 3. So I'll say 3 rocks on Monday. He found 7 rocks on Friday. So we want to know how many more rocks did he find on Friday than Monday? So again, on Friday he found 7, and on Monday he found 3. So how many more rocks did Brian find on Friday than Monday? For your picture, you could draw that Brian found the 3 rocks on Monday, so you could draw a picture of 3 rocks, and then you could draw the 7 more rocks that he found on Friday, and you can compare how many more rocks does he have on Friday than he did on Monday. Then we are going to write that equation in the blanks below. Number 7 says, write a math story and an equation to match the picture. So this is just like number 4 on our previous page. We have a picture on the side where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monkeys. So in your math story, you could talk about how many monkeys are on the branch and how many monkeys are on the ground. And then write your equation. So if you need help with this one, you can always look back on how we wrote our story problem on number 4 and compare it to how you would write it for number 7. Number 8 says 5 ducks are in a row. More ducks join them. Now there are 8 ducks. How many ducks join them? Our friend says you can draw a picture or write an equation to help. So if there are 5 ducks in a row, more join them, and now there are 8 ducks, we need to find out how many ducks join them. Did 8 ducks join? Did 5 ducks join? Did 4 ducks join? Or did 3 ducks join? So if I started with 5 ducks, some joined me, I don't know how many, but now I have 8 ducks. 5 plus what number would equal 8? So this missing number is going to be one of these letter choices, and you will fill in that letter choice when you find it. After you are done answering all of the questions, you are all done with today's math lesson.